Alright, we're continuing the beginner's guide for Infinite Magic Raid, and I'm going to show you what to do once you unlock the dungeons. First, let's make sure we complete our beginner quests. I actually haven't played each day since I made that first video, but it's okay. So we claim Marguerite. We're not going to do anything with her just yet. I'm going to exit out all these menus first, and I'm going to show you as you're progressing. Let's see, you get to campaign. We're just going to make sure we click all of our red dots first. Make sure we got all of our gear. And then I'll show you what to do with dungeons. Check our quest. Alright. And then our daily login. So we got free rewards, free hero. Anna. She's okay. Anna's okay. It is the only problem with her is you do have to build her a certain way to get a lot of usage out of her. So let me just click through all of the red dots first. That's important. Get as many rewards as you can so we can build up our character. All right, so before we go to the screen where I'll be explaining what to do with your dungeons once you unlock them. You see we got 2 Marguerites, and so that means we will be able to do the exclusive once we awaken her. And we're not going to do it just yet. Let's look at some other stuff. Let's follow the quest. They want us to upgrade a hero skill. Now, based on this, what we're seeing here, Marguerite may be potentially able to do more damage because of this. So let's go ahead and awaken her, actually. Let's use the 2 eggs for now. Or we could use this blue. He's not useful. Alright, so we awakened her to 1. And the reason we did that is once we've awakened a character 1 time, if you have an extra copy, you can place into the exclusive. So we're going to place that new copy of Margarita here. And now she unlocks an extra feature to her moveset. Alright, and I'm not going to explain too much, but basically Blade Dance normally gave her 3 stages of attack damage. When we upgraded to her exclusive 1 by using a copy, her Blade Dance unlocked this effect where she gets 4 attack stages. So instead of doing 3 times 100 attack percent, it's 4 times 100 attack percent. So you're doing 400% or whatever your attack stat is. That's what that means. 400. So you're doing 4 times 7,000 as her attack stat. If you have critical damage, you're going to increase that damage. So that's what we did. Upgraded her to get more damage. It's the basics of what just happened there. Now let's go look at our quest. Upgrade 1 hero. When it says upgrade a hero skill, the key to remember is focus on upgrading whoever's your damage dealer first. Whoever's going to put out the most damage for you is going to be your best investment. So right now, Margarita is going to potentially be the best damage dealer over Sana right now. So let's just invest in her. You have these gold skill scrolls where it will randomly upgrade one of these. And right now what we're looking for are cooldowns to be reduced is the main thing. So when we use this 1 scroll, we want to make sure, well, we can't make sure, but we want Blade Striker to get all the way to level 5. It's currently at level 1. And we want Blade Dance to go to level 5 because the cooldowns will reduce. And if cooldowns reduce, that means we're getting these attacks back faster on the battlefield. It means we're also doing more damage. So let's see where the first scroll goes. first one went into her passive ability. All right, so her passive ability is a little complicated for a new player to try to understand, but I'm not going to explain it now. You can learn about the abilities a little bit later, but we just know right now we're looking for these to get the cooldowns down. So that random scroll we just used did go to the Blade Striker, which is good. I usually save my scrolls up until I have enough to know that I'm going to get the cooldowns down, but I'm just showing you right now. So another thing is you don't want your scrolls spread out across your different characters. If you start putting scrolls on one character, just go ahead and finish putting scrolls on that character, and unless you find out for some reason that you put scrolls on the wrong character. But usually just once you start, you might as well finish at least to get your cooldowns, and you can stop. So right now the passive is finished, which is good. All right, and we're getting good rolls because we're getting Blade Striker down so that we're getting some more damage. And then we got the Blade Dance down just once, so we didn't get the cooldown yet. We're gonna need at least five scrolls minimum to get them down. You can use 10 of the purple scrolls to get one roll on one of these skill upgrades, but I very rarely do that, so we're not going to use any purple. We can go back to our quests. All right, and I thought there was a quest here for dungeons, but let me just go over this real quick because we just unlocked the dungeon. When you do unlock the dungeon, your first time running through, just run through as many stages as you can before you lose. You don't really need to farm these just yet. You can, but I think it will be a waste. We're gonna go ahead and put the Anna up here because she does have an AoE attack, so we're gonna at least take her to 100. And Anna, she works well when you have attack rate and mastery on her. So we're gonna upgrade this. Okay. We're gonna see what other items have mastery on them. These boots have mastery on them, so we'll go ahead and equip those boots. Then we'll find something else that has attack rate on it. Maybe some speed or mastery and speed. Let's see. That may not be the best. Let's see what we have so far. We'll go with this for right now. We'll equip a sword that has a little bit of mastery on it. Sword that has a little bit of speed on it, and we'll see if we roll a mastery. We rolled no mastery. That was really bad. Let's see if we'll roll a speed. We rolled 1 speed, so it's okay. Alright, just double checking. Marguerite does have something here. Margarita and Sana are both going to be crit damage dealers. But yeah, so what you'll do with these dungeons, like I said, go through as many stages as you can with your current setup. Don't spend a lot of resources on trying to push through them at this time, because the game will help you get stronger as you progress. And once you start getting stuck during the campaign or other areas of the game, that's when you want to come back and grind through these to use your energy wisely. Although you're gonna get a ton of energy in this game, we just don't want to waste any early on, because you want to save it for when it is really time to grind, especially when it comes to grinding your emblems. Emblems will take a lot of your energy later on, which we haven't gotten there yet. Alright, so right now, you can see we use all our damage dealers, go through the dungeon, and right now, I'm just going to push the stages until we lose one. And this is what you should be doing on your account right now, or you can follow along, is go ahead and start the Ifrit dungeon. You probably saw me start it on the last video. I can't remember where we left off. And go ahead, push these just like I'm pushing them. Use whatever damage dealers you have. You can use Christian also because he does do damage and provide shields. So he can still provide some help on the early waves. More than likely, you will be able to make it past stage 10. You will make it to stage 10 at least, usually in this first part of the game that we're in. And then you may lose at stage 11 just because it will require you to have some better gear or better stats usually once you hit 11. We're gonna see what happens though, because we're at 10 now and 10's looking like a clean run, which it should be. If you followed everything I told you up to this point, 10's gonna be a clean run. Also, if you notice your run is taking a very long time, if it takes about 80 turns to clear, you're probably taking too long on that boss. You maybe shouldn't really push forward in the early game because it's just consuming a lot of time. As far as when you're picking up the gear, what I do is look at these stats and say, okay, this is an attack sword that has HP and defense. That doesn't make sense because I don't want a defensive attack sword, so I'm going to sell that. This one is the same thing, HP and defense on an attack sword. I don't want that. We'll try stage 11, but like I said, it could get a little rough. You notice right off the bat, the enemy waves are even faster than us here, which indicates that we need to upgrade our speed at least before coming back to 11. The enemy wave should never be faster than you in the campaign or in this section, these dungeons here. You should always be faster in the first two waves. The boss wave, you typically won't be faster. So this one's up in the air. Whether or not we're going to beat it is probably going to be a very close call. Yep, so it looks like we're going to take it. And then I'll probably stop right there because like I said, most of the time you're not in a real need to farm very specific gear right now. And this gear isn't really that great anyway, unless you get some really good rolls. We're going to sell that. HP and defense on a tenacity set is good. Tenacity stops you from taking critical hits, so it could be useful in a very defensive character if you needed it. But yeah, that took 1 minute and that took 84 turns. Just like I said, if something takes about 80 turns, it's probably taking a little too long. So that's about the most we can get out of that dungeon right now. And we'll check our red dots. I don't know what they're notifying me of here. Beginner hero goals. They gave me some eggs, which the eggs are going to be used to progress your characters here. Another thing is, okay, we're not level 15 yet. Let's use our free wish for today. And then we'll crack our 10 summons. Alright, cool. So we cracked our 10 summons, and of course always do your daily quests. one thing I want to say is the tavern. Let's check here, see if we have any duplicate heroes. So we have a Maya, and then we just got another Maya. So this will allow us, if we wanted to, if we awakened her, we could at least get her to exclusive 2. The key for every character in the game is you want to get them to exclusive 3 to make them useful, like get the full potential of their skills. But we'll keep saving up until we get the next copy of her. Alright, so if we go back to the tavern, like I said, you have to be careful not to use the consume epic heroes button unless you're deliberately checking that characters that you want to keep are not in this bunch here. And right now, I'm fine with what they chose there. And as you continue to progress, I can choose something. Okay. It will talk about the beginner wish pool. But try not to choose anything in this beginner wish pool just yet. If you are further than me, if you're in level 14, try not to advance because I'll make another video on that. And we did get a supreme, so let's check our supreme wish. Alright, so we ended up getting an epic. And that gives us another supreme, so let's check that supreme. And here we go. Oh, so we got Tiger Man Will, defensive character that removes buffs from an enemy and blocks buffs. He's immune to control, silence, horrify, provoke. Okay, I was trying to think of what use we could have for him. He seems like more of a one-on-one character. Yeah, he seems kind of like a big tanky solo. Yeah, solo single target person. So he can be useful. I've never really used him. I've seen him multiple times, but there we go. You got Will. And he's a direct damage dealer, so that's good too. Whenever you see direct damage, they have the potential to do some good starting off damage in the early stages of the game. Alright, so I'm going to end the video here because we covered 2 things that's good enough. Is one, like awakening your heroes and going over exclusives for them when you should awaken a hero. And then also what to do once you unlock the dungeons and why you shouldn't farm them very early. So if you haven't seen the first video where I start from the very beginning, go back and watch that one where you can make a brand new account and follow along. It's a 2-hour long live stream on the channel. And I go through every single thing that I can think of while I'm starting off as a new player. So that way you hopefully don't miss anything or mess up your account. And then you can come back and follow this if you're watching the videos in the reverse order. And then we'll go through some more stuff like events and proceeding through the game from here and clearing more space temples. I'll show the walkthrough for Intimate Brothers on the next one.